Camera number 167 of 365 is this Pentax Zoom 70S autofocus. It requires batteries to operate all its functions, as everything is automated. And to put the batteries in, we simply slide our door open. Now it's interesting that we have a few options here. We have the option that I've chosen to insert this lithium CRP2, or we can place 4, I believe it's AAA batteries. Yes, it looks like AAA batteries that can go in there, and then they're locked into position with this little cradle lock. Now I'm not sure, I think the door is meant to be attached, but mine isn't. But let's just put the battery back in, otherwise we won't be able to see its operations. There we go. So nice provision there to choose from a couple of different choices regarding battery. That's much appreciated. So once the batteries are in, we can power the camera up by sliding the switch to on, and then that opens our lens door. The lens is a 35 to 70 millimeter with a macro function, and the macro function is applied or set with the on-off switch. There is a button which we press down and then slide across, and then you can see that the lens extends to 70 millimeters, allowing us to then use the camera in macro mode. The shutter button, which is this big red button, we press it halfway, and then we have our focus lock button, which is green, or our flash button on the left here, which is red. So I find these slightly distracting in that they're not in the viewfinder, they're just slightly out of the viewfinder. But again, Pentax have thought of that, and actually you can turn that off. So you can turn those lights off, and then you have confidence that the camera will be doing its thing. But if we want that reassurance, we can slide it on, and then the lights will light up. And if we put it in auto, presumably the camera will decide whether to or not. Film chamber is the latch door here is opened, and then we can drop our canister in and just slide it across, nice and easy. In some models there is a back that allows us to do imprinting of date, but this one doesn't have that. The thumb slider switch allows us to, if we take it out of macro, allows us to move our focal length from 70 to 35. And it looks like there's provision to put something here. I'm not quite sure what that is. That would be interesting to find out what that is. There's definitely something that you can clip on there. Maybe an additional flash, perhaps. Meanwhile, on the front there's the flash and viewfinder, self-timer button and exposure compensation button. And on the base we have our tripod mount and a very nicely included mid-roll rewind. And there we go. So that has been camera number 167 of 365.